My name is Alex Thompson. I'm 38 years old and grew up in Texas. I'm an oil field engineer who spent many years working offshore in the Gulf of Mexico. I was happily married for 6 years, with a nice house in suburban Dallas and a reliable Ford F-150 in the driveway. We had a typical life, complete with a barbecue grill in the backyard, something I thought I'd built to last. But then everything changed one night. My wife, Emily, had an affair. It wasn't just a brief fling, she got pregnant by her boss, Mark Sanders. When our baby girl was born, Emily looked me straight in the eye, with our mothers present at Parkland Memorial Hospital, and asked me to sign the birth certificate as the father. The moment felt surreal, with the document right there, and everyone expecting me to just agree to 18 years of responsibility. Instead, I took a deep breath and said calmly, "Not yet. We need to wait for a DNA test." The room froze at my words. I've worked offshore as an engineer for 15 years. It's demanding work, often keeping me away for weeks. Long stretches at sea on a massive rig, with loud machines and the smell of salt and fuel, followed by just a few days back home. I thought this was the life I had built, a good paycheck, a nice home, and all the comforts I thought came with stability. I believed Emily understood the sacrifices I made for us, but while I was working hard at sea, what was happening at home was something I didn't see coming. Married for 6 years, everything seemed perfect from the outside. A lovely home, a friendly neighborhood, kids playing outside, and my trusty truck parked in the driveway. While I was away, Emily enjoyed her time with friends and shared nice dinners with our neighbors. I was convinced we had it all figured out, but looking back, I see how comfort can sometimes hide deeper problems. Family was always important to us. My mom, Linda, lived close by and believed in values and commitments. But Emily's mom, Carol, was more outspoken and protective, influencing Emily in ways I didn't fully understand. Their relationship created an unspoken tension, which became significant later when everything fell apart. I thought our relationship was solid, but we just went through the motions. Saturdays were for coffee on the porch, and Sundays meant grilling outside while the neighbors came by. Small arguments about bills or schedules didn't worry me, I was confident in our love. But sometimes, peace can be misleading. For years, we discussed having kids without fully committing. But the clock was ticking, and our friends were starting families. Then we decided it was time. I remember the night Emily told me she was pregnant. I had just returned from work, and she welcomed me with a box containing baby socks. I was overwhelmed with joy and excitement, imagining the future we'd have. After that moment, I reduced my offshore work, wanting to be present for her and get ready for the baby. We transformed a room into a nursery, painted it with bright colors, and picked out names together. I felt like everything was finally coming together, believing in the family we were about to create. But during this time, I never doubted Emily. I trusted her completely, assuming when she said she was busy, she was telling the truth. But as time passed, I noticed little things. Her joy in preparing for the baby seemed almost too much, and I started wondering if my trust was misplaced. The day finally came at the hospital where everything changed. After a long labor, as I was filled with love for our newborn, the nurse entered the room with the birth certificate, and that was the moment my world shifted. When I hesitated to sign, I sensed the tension in the room. My mother was stunned, while Carol was furious. Emily looked at me with confusion and fear. I knew I wouldn't be signing anything until I confirmed my role in this baby's life. When I mentioned Mark Sanders' name, the reaction was immediate. Suddenly, Emily's denial, her forced laughter, and her tears filled the room, and I realized there was more at play than I had understood. The truth tightened around us, and the fallout from my words began to unravel our lives. Emily couldn't justify her actions, and the bond one thought we had started to crumble. While each of us reacted differently, I remained calm, focused on uncovering the truth. But it wasn't just about Emily and me. As more information came in about Mark, I discovered a larger pattern of betrayal affecting others too. In the end, through these dark revelations, I learned that families should be built on trust and honesty, and my trust had been broken. I let the silence fill the room. It was time to end this chapter. I wouldn't sign anything until I knew the truth. The waiting felt unbearable, and I focused on gathering what I needed to move on with my life. I began the process of separating our lives, finances, belongings, everything that connected us. Days rolled into weeks as the whispers about Mark Sanders grew louder. I formed a small support group of betrayed husbands who shared their own experiences. Each man carried his own story of betrayal and loss, but together we found strength. When I received the DNA test results confirming that the child was not mine, it felt like both liberation and heartbreak. The moment I walked into Carol's house with that envelope, I knew the truth would change everything. I didn't need to say much after revealing the results. The weight of my words shattered the fragile facade of our family. Emily collapsed in tears. There was nothing I could say or do to help her now. In the aftermath, I didn't reach out. Instead, I focused on my own healing. I started to rebuild my life, step by step. Eventually, I met Rachel, who brought a lightness back into my world. With her, I began to find joy again, learning that healing doesn't mean forgetting. It's about moving forward and choosing to build something new. I learned to let go of the past, to no longer allow the actions of Emily and Mark to define who I am or what my future holds. Every struggle became part of my journey, but they didn't constrain me. They were just lessons learned on the way to a better life, one filled with hope and the potential for love again. What would you have done in my situation?